God has done a lot of things for me this past week. And before I actually start the message, there's another message I have to say. When King David committed an adultery with Bathsheba, I'm sure y'all read the Bible and stuff. The prophet Nathan came to him and said, "The things that you do, things you have done in secret, I will return to you in public." So, that is not always a bad thing. I'm sure all you've heard of male pride, right? Just a little bit, she says. All right, cowboy pride is male pride with those little numbers up the top, the exponential numbers. And believe it or not, I actually have a healthy dose of that. And I stand up here publicly and berate my wife in jest constantly. And I am lucky that I've married a woman who is happy with who she is and can take these things. It just kind of rolls off her back. But believe it or not, I'm really not that easy to live with. Along with my healthy dose of cowboy pride, I also have a nice, mild Irish temper. And this week has been especially rough on my wife. So the things she endures in secret, sometimes you just got to apologize in public. And I got this because 2 Peter, he said, and I'm just going to read this real quick. He was talking, 1 Peter 3, he was talking about wives submitting to your husbands and all that stuff. But then he said, husbands, in the same way, be considerate to your wife and treat them with respect. And as a weaker partner in the heirs with which you of the gracious gift of life, so that nothing will hinder your prayers. And I have noticed that when my mild Irish temper flares up and I berate my wife, not in jest, it doesn't hinder my prayers. It does hinder my ability to pray and be close to God. So I have to go back to her and apologize. And then I'm able to go before God again. That had nothing to do with the sermon today. That was just something that God told me I needed to do.
God is good.
Alright. Now, breakfast this morning. Who had breakfast this morning up here? Good stuff. Eggs and bacon, right? Pancakes. Well, most of the time it's eggs and bacon. If I got here a little earlier, it's my wife's fault. If we'd have got here a little earlier, I'd have known that I couldn't preach about eggs and bacon, huh? All right, sermon's over. All right. Eggs and bacon. Most of the time, that's what we have for breakfast. There are two animals that are involved in this. And I know everybody probably heard this. It's an old saying. There are two animals involved with breakfast. The chicken donates or what's the word? Contributes. The chicken contributes to breakfast. The pig is actually committed. Right? So, There's you another one, ladies. What's the definition of commitment? Don't everybody stop. Okay. So, being committed. I personally am committed to my relationship with my wife and my family. Although sometimes I don't act like it. I really am. My wife is committed to her relationship with me and our family. So much so that she saw me take a drink of cold coffee and have to work to swallow it. And she grabbed my cup and went and got some hot stuff. So, here I go. I'm committed. I'm committed to my children. I'm committed to my grandchildren. Commitment is making a sacrifice. That chicken didn't have to do nothing. Spit out an egg or two, going about your business. The hog gave his life for breakfast, right? Commitment. What do we have to give up? The young ruler says, Lord, what must I do to attain I'm all messed up this morning. What must I do to get everlasting life? And Christ said, follow the 10 rules God gave you. Don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal, don't take the other of them as wives and things like that. He said, I've done all these things. Since I was a child, I've done all these things. He said, there's one more thing you got to do. Sell everything you own, give it to the poor, pick up your cross and follow me. The young man walked away sad because he was rich. Does the Bible say not to be rich? Absolutely not. It says don't let that interfere with your following God. I want to read several different passages here. If I can remember where they all were. I'm a good shepherd. This is in John 10, starting 14. He said, I'm the good shepherd. I know my sheep, and my sheep follow me. Just as the Father follows me. Just as the Father knows me, and I follow the Father. And I lay down my life for my sheep. I have other sheep. They're not of this pen. I must bring them also. They too will listen to my voice. And there should be one flock and one shepherd. The reason my Father loves me is I lay down my life, only to take it up again. That's not where I was going, but that's all right. He said, my sheep know my voice. My sheep know my voice and they follow me. My sheep know who I am and they follow. Remember what he told them? Pick up your cross and follow me. There's another passage. And I lost it. Okay. Anyway, there's another passage. Christ says, follow me. He doesn't say, look, you've got to get out here and you've got to do these things, and I'm telling you, I'm not going to do these things, but I want to tell you to do them, and I want you to do them. He doesn't say, I'm going to give you a list of rules, and you have to blindly do this stuff. He says, follow me. When I was a young man, I went to places that I would not bring my children. And as I grew up, I noticed my children, as they got on their way, they started going to these places that I went to and I wouldn't bring them. Well, I wised up and I said, look, you don't need to do this stuff. You don't need to go here. And they said, you did. What's the difference, Dad? And so I learned. If I don't want my child to do this, I don't show them how to. I train horses. Well, I used to. I train horses. And when I get out there, and a policy of mine is, do not let a horse know that they can buck with someone on their back. If I never let a horse buck, and I can cheat a horse in a lot of ways, if I can't let them know that they're able to do it, they'll never do it. I have some horses that discovered they could, and I encourage them not to do that. How do I do that? I make it very, what would be the word, uncomfortable? Yeah. I like wearing spurs with a big Spanish rod. And yes, a horse can feel a fly land on their side. Okay? You don't need spurs to ride a horse. However, as my wife saw one time, I'm on a colt, and he's walking around very nicely, and I asked him to trot, and he trots very nicely, and I asked him to lope, and that rascal crow hops, pulls his head down and kind of crow hops a little bit. My toes that were like this suddenly went, whoop, and I tried to pierce his soul. So LP goes straight up, and we buck around a little bit. But he noticed that when he started to buck, things got uncomfortable. And then he said, you know what? I really can't do that to him on my back. And his colt quit. He hasn't done it again. Other colts, we have my wife's favorite horse, has never, ever bowed her back up to buck with me. That's because from the time I got on her back, when I mounted her up, I had her nose on my knee. So she thinks, oh, okay, so when he gets on, I got to do this. Well, when she's standing like that, she can't buck. And then when I release her and let her walk, the instant I see her body language change to where she's wanting to get a little aggressive, I take that away from her. Or I'll change position. So she never realizes that she can do it. And she never has. I teach them the way to go. And because they respect me, they follow me. They might not agree with me, but they end up following me. I am dedicated to preaching the Word of God. Now, this dedication didn't come because I said, I don't want to be a preacher. This is what I want. No. Because I didn't want. I was happy sitting out there, and I went to church, and I was happy going to church. And I was happy just contributing. Just being there. God said, guess what? I got another job for you. Now, everybody talks about sin as doing something wrong. And PJ touched on this a little bit this morning. When you do wrong, you get punished because that's the sin. Don't lie. If you lie, you're going to be punished. Don't steal. If you steal, you're going to get punished. But there's also a sin of omission. Okay? God says, all right, Jay, I want you to be a preacher. And I say, ain't no way, no how, I am not going to do this. I am not following God. And that's a sin in itself. God told Ty, I want you to start a church in your restaurant. I believe with all my heart that if Ty would have said no, his restaurant probably wouldn't have flourished like it has. Because he followed God, God blessed him. There's people that come up here, and I'm going to step on some people's toes today. Joe came up here within, 2 Sundays. He was joining the church. But it wasn't enough to join the church. He said, what can I do to help? Josh isn't here either. Josh came in and joined the church and instantly found something that needed to be done and did it. He took over youth. Joe jumped on the service team. It's because God says, I want you at church, but I want you to do something else. I need you to follow me in serving others. God told me to preach. He told me in kind of an interesting way, but then you got to do that for me to get the message. I'm a little thicker than most. I think that when God tells us, He tells us in a way that we can understand, and the way He tells PJ things is not the same way He tells me. He can whisper to her. He has to hit me with large objects. But he's laughing over here because he knows it's true. He literally has to be, and I've prayed this before. Lord, I do not hear what you're saying. Please get audible with me. Don't do that. Please make it clear. Yeah, okay. No problem, brother. So, God tells us in a way that we can understand. And you can't tell me that you cannot hear God talking. We might try to ignore Him talking. How many of us tried to ignore our dad growing up? And my dad would start out by saying, son, grab that wrench over here and bring it over here. I'm busy. I got my army men over here and I'm playing. Dad usually didn't say it more than just that once. Jacob, which my name's not Jacob. Where they got that, I don't know, but that's what he called me. When he was mad, that's what, Jacob, need to start listening. Yes, sir. What did I tell you to do? This is where my mistake always came in. What did I tell you to do? I'm sorry. Now I go over and get the wrench, and I go to him, and he says, now, you did hear me when I told you to do that, right? Oh man, I should have said I didn't hear him. So I got punished. But he always told me in a way he knew I would understand. Now, as he got older and us kids got older, I love this about my dad. You were supposed to read his mind, especially at the table. Son, hand me the son, Cam, boy, I have asked you 3 times, give me them potatoes. Dad, finish the sentence. Of course, you don't say that to Dad. Sorry, Dad. But he always talks to you. God always talks to you in a way that is impossible for you to ignore. Most of the time, it's a whisper. I heard it said that if you really want somebody to hear something, whisper. If you yell, they start turning their volume down. So, God always talks to you in a whisper. And God tells PJ, I need you to marry Jay. And she's like, Oh, okay, you are joking, right? I mean, this is, ha ha ha. But she ended up having pity on me and marrying me anyway. Now, how do we follow this? How do we follow God? How do we know what God wants? How do we know to be dedicated to what God wants? Psalms 139. I love this psalm. Psalms 139. Read the whole thing. It's awesome. I'm going to use two verses. The last two. I love this song. I heard it. I was still in the army, I believe. Just coming back to God. And I heard this in a sermon. David's talking to God. He says, search me, God, and know my heart. Test me and know my weaknesses. See if there's any evil way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting. Search me. Earlier in this psalm, he said, you knitted me together in my mother's womb. You saw me before I was me. You have my days numbered in your book. Search me. Know what I am. Test me so that I can know what I am. Lead me in the way you'd have me to go. God never tests us because He wants to know how we can handle things. The school teachers we have in here, how many school teachers test their kids so that the teacher knows what the kid learned? Oh, come on. No. I'll bet you test the kids so that the kids know what they learned. See, you know what you taught. But the kids have to know that they learned it. By doing that, they test it.
I tested it right here.
I was in the Army. I was an instructor, and I did this. I taught all the time. At the end of the class, they all go out and do this, they learn it in the classroom, and then we go out and do this hands-on. And so you see the timid guys, they'll get out there and they'll start, let's say, for instance, we're troubleshooting man, how do you get all this technical junk out of it? Pull the army boots off of it. We're testing a servo motor. Everybody knows what that is, right? It just spins and, okay. Testing a servo motor. Well, there's a lot of things you have to do to get to this motor. And the more timid guy is saying, okay, what do I do next, sir? I don't know, show me. I teach the class, I know what to do. Why don't you show me? And it's amazing how if they step back and look at it, oh, wait, yeah, this is what you do. I know what I taught. They heard me teach it. Now they have to understand that they actually learned it. I see this in the homeschooling. PJ teaches Kirsten about rocks. And rocks. PJ teaches Kirsten about rocks, and then we go out, and we're walking in the driveway. Kirsten goes, that's an igneous rock. Why is that rock in here? No, igneous rock, and she tells me exactly what an igneous rock is. course, I don't know now, but she told me what it is. It's because after she got through teaching, PJ took her out there and showed her these rocks and said, this is what it looks like. So now she knows it. I'm coming full circle here, folks. Coming full circle. God, search me. You search me. And you know what I'm good at. PJ's got one student, so she knows what Kirsten excels in and what she has troubles in. I don't know about y'all that are teaching school with lots of kids. Y'all probably know each individual child, what they excel at and what they're struggling with. Search me. Know what I excel in. Know what my gifts are. And then test me, Lord. Show me what my gifts are. Let me know if there's anything in me that is not of you. And lead me in the way that you would have me go. That's all it was. Search me, Lord, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. See if there's any offensive way in me and lead me in the way everlasting. Now, that's how he trains us. We have one responsibility in all of this. And what did he say? There's one thing you lack. Follow me. He walked to Peter, James, and John on a fishing boat and said, follow me and I'll make you fishers of men. He went to Matthew at his tax booth and said, follow me. He could have said, follow me, and turned around and walked off, and they could have sat there where they were at. But they didn't. They got up and they followed Christ. And they became fishers of men. They became apostles. And with 12 guys, a world was changed. Really with one man, but his 12 followers, a world was changed. A world, not Israel, not Jerusalem, the city, not Israel, country, or Judea, the country, not the Middle East, the world. An entire world was changed. And everyone in this world has a chance to go to heaven. How? Follow Christ. Have a relationship with Christ and follow Him. With that cowboy pride that I have, standing up here and admitting that I can be, boy, how do you do this effectively? I can be the south end of a northbound mule. It's not easy. Publicly apologizing is not something Jay does just, off the cuff. But I can tell you right now, when God said, you will do this, I did it because I know the consequences. Lord, search me. That should be what we say every morning when we wake up, every night when we go to bed, at every meal when we sit down. Or 1 Thessalonians 5 says, pray without ceasing, and our prayer should be, Lord, search me and know my strength. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. See if there's any wicked way in me and lead me in the way everlasting.